Hey, in this video, I'm going to talk about centering headings and text in Oxygen. But before that, let's just start with basic HTML. So I have a H1 heading that has some text, and that is going to appear in browser like this. Now, if I want to center this heading, all I need to do is add the CSS text align center. So that will center the heading horizontally in the browser. So you would expect that setting the same text align property of this heading to center will center this text. Let's go and give it a try. So if I go to typography and press that button, nothing happens. So let me just save this and see in the front end as to what is happening. Okay, so we have this h3 tag here, and that is inside um, a div that has the class of section inner wrap, which is a child element of this section. If you have noticed, we actually have a section and we have the heading inside the section. So whenever there is a section, it will have a section inner wrap in Oxygen. And this inner wrap is going to contain these three properties. It is going to set the display of the section to flex, and as you probably know, the default behavior um, for a flex parent is to show the child elements in columns or side by side, and Oxygen sets the flex direction to column. The default one is row, so that they appear in next to each other, but by setting the flex direction to column, the child elements are basically shown one below the other, and align items is set to flex start. So this will basically make sure that the child elements are all starting at the left side of the browser. So if I apply the same uh, to my static HTML, that is, I enclose this inside a div having a display of flex and flex direction of column, and align items to flex start. No, not this. I need to reload this. Now you can see that the text align center, this no longer works. So that is exactly what is happening with um, Oxygen as well. So how do you fix this? It's very simple. There are two ways of doing it. The first is, well, let me just back out. If I want to center both the heading and this text and any other element that is inside this particular section, I can simply select the section and click on this button to center the contents of that section. Okay, but that is not what we are talking about now. We are just talking about centering the individual heading or the individual text. Alright, so I have selected the heading, and there are two ways to center this text. The first is to, as you know, there we have the text align center, and that is not actually doing anything. But if we go back and set the width of this to 100%, then we can see that the text align center works. But in this method, you need to basically set, let me remove this. You need to basically set two properties. One is width to 100% and then text align to center. Instead of that, we can simply go to size and spacing and set the left margin to auto and right margin to auto, and that will center this text, whether that is a heading or a text element or whatever. So let me do the same thing here. Okay, now you might be wondering as to why we need to have this div and display as flex and all these things and make life complicated. Well, having the parents display to flex will have a number of advantages, and not being able to center the text using just text align center is one of the sacrifices that we are making for the conveniences that the display flex adds. And as to what those conveniences are and what are the benefits, I will cover that in another video. If you're interested, let me know. I hope you found this helpful. Bye for now.